Welcome back to Bead Adorn. In today's video, we're going to talk about all the different kinds of beads that can be used for bead embroidery. In my previous video, I talked a bit about seed beads since they're the basis for 95% of my work. But there are options for different kinds of beads. Now let's look at other bead possibilities that add to any design. Cabochons, or cabs as they're usually called, take center stage in many of my jewelry designs. They're shaped with a flat back and a domed surface. They could be round, square, oval, or irregular shaped. I usually glue them down to my fabric foundation with an industrial strength adhesive like E6000, which is available at most craft stores, and then I stitch around them. In this example, I'm using lovely plastic beads. I glued them on, I stitched around them, and then I added some metal beads for extra interest. These glass beads were a great find. They make wonderful cabochons. They're flat on the bottom and domed on the top, and they're actually used for aquariums. I incorporated them into my design and then, of course, glued them on, beaded around them, and made the rest of this really fun quilt-like bead embroidery painting. Metal beads are fun to use. They're not actually cabochons in terms of having a domed shape, but they do have a flat bottom, and they sometimes even have holes in them so you can sew them on. I usually glue them on, as you can see. The metal beads come in strands, so you can get all different kinds of shapes. Here's an example of a bead painting where I used lots of metal in here in different shapes and sizes. Here are two examples of cuff bracelets where I used metal beads. The silver ones are probably the most popular, but I really enjoy the other colored metals. These have copper ones, and as you can see, there's all kinds of shapes and sizes that you can do. Again, I glue them on, I bead around them, and create my design. Clay beads are another option for you to use. These two were purchased, and these two I made. And usually I use either polymer clay or I use self-drying clay, and then I paint or color pencil over it. These two are examples of where I used the clay beads as cabochons and beaded around them to make pendant necklaces. Here's an example of a bead painting that I did where I incorporated the clay beads and beaded around them and added a lot of extra embellishment to make it an interesting design. These are bugle beads. They're cylindrical in shape and come in lengths from 1/4 inch to 1 inch. They're great for embellishments, as you'll see in the next few examples. I love using natural stones like turquoise or jasper. The colors are great, and the veined or mottled look, like in there or in here, adds extra interest to anything I make. Natural stones often are one of a kind, so by using them, your piece automatically becomes unique. Now, sometimes you can get what looks like natural stone, but really isn't. This is glass, but it looks like a natural stone. And these pearls are glass pearls rather than natural pearls, but they still work great in any kind of bead embroidery design. Sometimes the natural stones come in chip formations, like this strand right here. And this is amber, and it also adds a lot of interest and texture to your designs. In these three examples, I've used natural stones. These are three natural stones that I've used, and I continued using the stones in the necklace part, but these are faux natural stones, not real ones. Here's another example. Notice different shapes that you get. And in this one, these are jaspers, and they come in a lot of different colors and a lot of different shapes, and it was fun to work with this design. In this example, I'm using those chips that I showed you previously. I take the strand apart and stitch them separately on there. I also use them at the end here, and you can see what wonderful texture you get with them. Glass pearl beads are always interesting and add a little elegance to my designs. Now, if you really want to get fancy, you can use pearls and crystals in a collar. And here we have glass pearls. I have some natural pearls here, and as you can see, it really adds a lot of class and elegance. I've worked with many different media as an artist and teacher. When I decided to give beads a try, the colors, finishes, and shapes mesmerized me. In this video, we explored all types of beads, any of which can be used in bead embroidery. That's what makes this medium so much fun. I hope you enjoyed watching. Join me in my next video on bead embroidery stitches, and remember to click like and share.